All righty. Cut that off a little soon. It was supposed to fade in or fade out. Uh-oh.
Come on,
a little
Rick.
rusty. Well, anyways, welcome back to another exciting episode of the I Love Annuities podcast, where we help you take the guesswork out of retirement planning to ultimately make smart, confident annuity and income decisions. I'm Jeremiah Conger.
And I'm Zach Van Ness, and together we are the Annuity Dudes. And as always, we're here to simplify the complex world of annuities so you can retire with peace of mind. What's up, brother?
Hey, man. Another day in the FLA.
That's right. We're starting to get that cooler weather. I'm excited. I get to
saw
wear my
something where
hoodies.
it's like going to be in the 50s this weekend for Halloween weekend.
Dude, I know. When do we ever have cool weather for Halloween? Usually we're just sweating wearing costumes.
I remember, like, specifically especially when I was a child, we used to use pillowcases to hold the candy.
Oh yeah.
And by the time you got home, like, the candy was melted.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous, man.
Either from that or beating your friends with your bag of candy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But this year it looks like the children are going to be able to have some frozen candy. It's going to be fit in the 50s, man.
It's going to be awesome. We get to actually finally enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys doing anything special?
Yeah. So Jen is out right now, actually picking up some hay so we can do some hay rides for the kids in the neighborhood. Got to deck that thing out, some lights, some cobwebs and some spiders and stuff. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Are you dressing up?
I am. Yeah.
Are you going to be like Wayne's World or something?
No, we've already done that. So we've done that before. I was Garth, Jen was Wayne, because she's got the dark hair, so it was easier.
Yeah. You definitely make a better Garth.
I don't think that's a compliment.
Well, I mean it in the best way.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm going to be the dude from Big Lebowski. So I got the wig, I got the outfit, I got everything. Yeah. How about you?
No, we're not doing anything really. Just laying low. Yeah. I'm not too big on Halloween anymore.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just more of a hassle when you have all these kids, man.
That's true. Yeah.
But it'll all be fun. I'm excited to see the kids dress up. So anyways, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm excited that we have the cooler weather, and that'll kick us into this cool episode.
Oh,
really discussing one of the biggest shifts happening in the retirement world right now. And this is something that could completely change how millions of Americans get guaranteed income from their 401ks and workplace retirement plans.
That's right. So we're talking about in-plan lifetime income options. So in simple terms, annuities are moving into 401ks and 403b plans. So you might be able to get guaranteed lifetime income directly inside of your employer retirement plan now.
Yeah, this is really a long time coming. It's been something that, I believe the retirement community has needed for a long time. And the reason I feel that way is, if you look back in history, back in time, when the 401k was first implemented, which was in the early to mid 1970s, the shift that occurred there, while at the time seemed like it was more favorable for the employee, it was actually much more favorable for the employer. And the reason is because they were able to shift away from the risk associated with having to maintain pension plans and shift that risk all on the employee. So now, as people retire, yes, they've had the benefits of having a portable 401k plan, so they're not handcuffed to any one employer. But now all that risk of planning for your financial future in retirement and how you're going to be able to make that money last, especially when it comes to receiving income, all that risk is now on you. It's all on your shoulders. And I think the recent legislation that was passed during Trump's first term, which was the Secure Act, the Secure Act was able to allow 401k plan administrators to have a safe harbor in order to offer annuities within the plan. So essentially, in a fancy way, the safe harbor, right, is basically a way to protect 401k plan administrators so that they're not on the hook if somebody purchases an annuity within the plan and maybe that annuity wasn't the best one for that situation. In other words, it allows the 401k plan administrator to be let off of their fiduciary duties, essentially, so that they can't be sued if the person says, well, I put money in this 401k and that wasn't really what I wanted or needed, but somehow I was able to still do it. So it kind of takes the pressure off of the 401k plan administrator. Now, that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. I think it's really going to always still revolve around education. And that's really the premise of our podcast and the mission of our entire organization, right? Is to bring more education and transparency to these important decisions around retirement planning and annuities. And, but I think ultimately, at least allowing someone the possibility or the option to have a guaranteed income annuity within your 401k plan is actually a very good thing. So we'll unpack what all of this means, who it all helps, and what to really watch out for, and why this trend might finally solve one of the biggest problems in retirement planning. And that is basically turning savings into income that lasts for life.
Yeah, and as you had mentioned, for decades, the 401k system has been built around accumulation. So we save, we invest, we hope it grows, and hope we don't have any major downturns in the market. Here's the problem. When you do retire, that balance doesn't automatically turn into a paycheck. We're left with this lump sum, and now what the heck do we do with it?
Yeah, Wall Street's done a banner job of really, prioritizing the accumulation phase of life, but nobody has done a good enough job at the decumulation phase of life. And that's what we call retirement. So that's where people hit this retirement wall. They know how to save, but not how to spend it safely. And without a pension, they're left wondering, how much can I pull from this thing each year and not run out?
That's right. And hence this episode, that's why we're seeing this big movement towards in-plan lifetime income. So plan sponsors and record keepers, names like whether it's MetLife, Prudential, they're all now partnering to build annuity options inside of these retirement plans.
That's right. And, they call this the Secure Act 2.0. So spawning off of the first Secure Act legislation, 2.0 basically opened the door for this, allowing employers to offer annuities inside 401ks as a default or elective option. So now a portion of your savings can be converted into guaranteed lifetime income at retirement without having to roll it out.
Right. So what exactly is this in-plan lifetime income? So in defining it, an in-plan lifetime income option, simply an annuity product, usually an immediate or deferred income annuity, offered within that existing retirement plan that you have. And you can choose to allocate part of that balance towards that annuity and leave some out if you'd like.
And what's great about that really is that it gives participants a bridge between the 401k world and the annuity world. So no more you're on your own here when you retire. Now it's some of that balance can actually be transformed into a guaranteed monthly paycheck for life.
Right. So as we've seen previously, we've had pensions in prior years, and then there was that shift into the 401k, and now it's bringing this full circle, and that we're bringing that pension back, but more on your terms. So the plan uses institutional priced annuities offered with competitive payout rates, and the income stream is guaranteed by that insurance company that you're working with.
Yeah, so there's going to be different structures that are allowed as an option in these types of plans. So the first would be an immediate income option where payments would start right away. And of course, there's going to be the deferred options where you lock in future income, maybe 5 or 10 years down the line. And some plans will even allow gradual annuitization, turning small portions into income over time, which that's pretty interesting in itself.
Right. And from the consumer's end of it, really makes a simplistic plan, and that's huge, right? So no rollover paperwork, no IRA transfers. It's all built into that existing retirement plan that you have. But like any annuity decision, we still need to understand who the carrier is, what guarantees there are with that plan, and what the terms look like.
And I think that's where we're going to come in as an organization. You know, Annuity Association has remained its independence in the marketplace for a reason, and that is so that we can truly advocate for the retiree or pre-retiree that's looking to plan their future and looking to use annuities in some fashion to either address their lifetime income or their safe growth element of their overall plan. And with that independence comes the ability to help people shop the entire marketplace. So while I do believe the the Secure Act 2.0, the safe harbor for these plans, and the implementation of incorporating annuity options for lifetime income within the plan is a great thing. I still think from a consumer advocacy perspective, I don't know exactly if they're always going to get the best deal. And the reason that I say that is just knowing how our industry has always been, and it's one that, I'm not so proud of. I think that there's a lot of wrongdoings within our industry. I don't necessarily like blame any one person or organization or establishment for it. It's just, the old school way of doing business, right? Um, but I don't believe, like, knowing how things are going to be structured here and how I believe that's going to look is basically these 401k plans. They're going to strike up partnerships with an exclusive carrier partner, an insurance company. And that exclusive relationship is going to be the one that implements or offers the annuity products within those plans. Well, when you have exclusivity, that's never a good thing for the consumer, because that completely diminishes competition. And competition is what gets consumers the best deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where we're going to come into play. Like, that's where I see us going, is leveraging our technology and the softwares that we're in currently developing, like we're currently about to launch. And it's going to be able to give someone the ability to see what they have in their 401k plan as an annuity option, and then shop it, come directly to our platform, type in their parameters, and then they can see what else they could get outside of that plan. And that's where I believe maintaining our independency is critical. It's essential to that, and continuing to deliver on our mission, which is creating a better annuity buying experience. So I'm excited that all of this stuff is happening, because it's going to continue to position us as a true consumer advocate for making better decisions and giving a better experience when doing that. So that's what I'm excited for. I think all of this is just further, you know, cementing our future.
Yeah,
And I'm
without
excited
a
for
doubt. I mean, it is funny. You look at the times we have conversations with clients now, and hey Zach, can I get in? Can you give me access to that software you've got?
it. Yeah.
It's just
How many
constant.
times have you been asked that?
It's I mean, 1 out of 2 meetings. Yeah,
Yeah,
50% of the time. And then now we've got the opportunity, and what we're building out, I think, really that much more of an advocate for the consumer with what we're going to have come out here soon.
for sure. I'm excited for it, man. And that actually happened when I was taking more meetings back then. I would get asked regularly, can I use the software that you're using to rank all these products and compare them? And, initially I was like, no, you can't. That's what I'm here for. It's an advisor facing program only. But then I kept thinking about it and I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Like if we truly want to do the right thing by the consumer, why not give them access to it? And
Yep.
that's what kind of got us to where we're at.
Yep.
So let's talk about why these in-plan annuity options are currently gaining so much momentum. So they're catching on like wildfire. Americans are realizing that they want income certainty, not just a big number on a financial statement.
Yeah. So if we look at these 401ks now, market volatility, inflation, longevity risk, it's making retirees nervous with what they have existing in that 401k. And studies do show from groups like Allianz for Lifetime Income, it shows that people with guaranteed income are significantly happier and less stressed in retirement. So putting that plan together can really allow some leverage.
Yeah, there was a recent survey that was conducted that asked pre-retirees and retirees. I think that there was a couple hundred people in the test group. They asked them if would you rather have $100,000 in a lump sum, or I think it was like $2,500 a month in income for the rest of your life, and everybody took the income.
Yeah.
Like they didn't say an annuity. They just said guaranteed income for the rest of your life, which is an annuity.
Yeah. They just cut the titles away and say, hey, what's a better outcome for you? Yeah.
And again, Wall Street's done such a great job at bad mouthing the word annuity and that taboo that's associated with that word. But when you completely remove that word and just say income for life or guaranteed income, which is an annuity, people want it.
But
And I think I always said this too. It's like, man, if we were just to completely rebrand these products and no longer call them annuities, just call them guaranteed income products, like people would buy them more. Like I'm
right.
100% convinced of that.
Yeah. The
Like,
stigma around the name. Yeah.
but that's,
Isn't helping.
above my pay grade, right? Like all those executives for these insurance companies and things that make buku bucks, they don't want to rebrand it.
Right.
But
That's true.
either way, that's what we're here for, is to help people understand and get through the jargon and the noise and ultimately make better decisions. So from the employer and plan sponsor side, they want to provide solutions that help their employees actually retire on time. So if people don't feel secure about income, they end up delaying retirement. And that's one of the biggest issues for companies.
That's right. So there's also the tech angle that comes with this. So digital record keepers and fintech platforms are making it easier to integrate annuities seamlessly. And if you think of it as like an annuity as a service model, plug and play guaranteed income, like what you had mentioned. If we were to change that name, plug and play guaranteed income sounds a heck of a lot better.
100%. And remember, institutional pricing on these products is going to often mean lower cost, which I do believe that's true. They're not going to have all of the commissions and middlemen that are part of the distribution model today. So I do believe that institutional pricing is going to mean better deals for the consumer. But again, when you have that exclusive relationship, how good of a deal are they going to give you knowing that they don't have to?
Right. Right.
So the employer and record keeper are going to be the ones responsible for negotiating the rates that are often better than retail annuities available outside of the plan. Now that's to be determined. I haven't seen any of the pricing on these products yet. I'm sure that there are some out there. But again, look, we're in our industry, in the insurance and financial services industry, we're currently in the golden era of technology that's going to impact the way that our products and the way that these carriers operate, the way that the products are designed, the way the carriers operate. There's going to be a significant reduction in overall cost to these carriers' bottom lines because of the implementation of AI. And that's going to mean better pricing all around. It's not just going to be institutional pricing. That's hogwash. This is going to be savings, significant savings across the entire gamut of insurance companies, and annuity products are just one of them. So when it comes to better pricing, yeah, that might be true. But when you remove the competition aspect out of the plan, it's not going to mean the best deal always. And I wouldn't be surprised, knowing what I know or understand of our industry, if there wasn't like these smaller, really lean, tech forward insurance companies. There's a few of them out there right now, like Aspida. Who's another one? Wichita National, who we're a partner with. These companies are smaller, but they're lean for a reason. They're lean because they're leveraging technology. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to go into this market and compete even with the institutional pricing, because they're much leaner than these bigger institutional annuity offerings, these companies offering them.
Yeah.
So
so in talking about that, part of it is also comparing and seeing where do we lie, where are the pros and cons that come with this. So when looking at this, we got to talk about both sides and how to evaluate this. So what are the advantages and potential drawbacks to that in-plan guaranteed lifetime income?
Well, let's start with the pros first. So you mentioned it already, Zach. You get simplicity. The income options are right there, accessible with your own eyes within your 401k. So when you log in to your 401k plan, you're going to see exactly what's available, and it won't require you to have to go through any outside noise, right? You can see it right there instantaneously. The next benefit would be that you can lock in guaranteed lifetime income at institutional pricing, like we just mentioned. You stay tax deferred, so that in-plan process is going to deviate from the traditional process of having to do any complex rollover processes. So you don't have to navigate any of that. And by not having to navigate a complex rollover process, you're always going to stay tax deferred, which is a huge benefit.
Absolutely. And I think it also adds another layer here, because it's backed by insurance carriers, can also diversify the risk away from that market exposure, which again is the idea behind the annuity, but adds another element to a pro.
Yeah. So let's talk about the potential drawbacks, or cons, if you will, or cautions. Once you do annuitize, that portion of your 401k funds usually becomes illiquid. So an annuitized product is going to be a product that's called a single premium immediate annuity. It can also be a deferred income annuity. Both have the same structure, where you relinquish control of the portion of funds going into that vehicle in exchange for that guaranteed income stream. And that process is called annuitization. So once you annuitize, that portion becomes illiquid. It's no longer accessible. It vanishes. Poof, it's gone. So that would be a drawback. But you might have limited choice. In addition to that drawback, you also may have limited choices of carriers or product types, which we've already discussed. I believe that to be true. I know that these 401k plans are going to strike up partnerships and exclusive deals with insurance companies, and that's going to limit your choice. Again, transparency is still going to vary. Not all plan participants are going to be able to fully understand the options, because, if we just rely on the insurance companies to put out the education, we know that they're not going to always be the most transparent. Not that they're doing it intentionally or maliciously. It's just that's not their strong suit. That's why the independent marketplace and companies like ours have been leaned on so heavily for distribution, is because we understand the consumer better than the insurance companies do. We understand those relationships. We understand what consumers want. And we also know how to communicate to them effectively, so that transparency can be at the forefront of every conversation and at the forefront of every decision. So in addition, you'll also want to look at the financial strength of the insurance company behind the guarantee. So like anytime you're purchasing an annuity, you want to know that the company you're dealing with, the insurance provider, is going to be one that's going to be there for the test of time. And, we're looking at a 30+ year horizon of planning. You need to make sure that that company has the financial strength and a proven track record to give you confidence that they'll be there for the long haul.
That's right. And really, if we look at it big picture and we evaluate this, we use these tools day in and day out, you and I do, with our multi-point annuity inspection. And it's just evaluating the pros and cons. Where's the right fit, not only for the annuity, but the right fit in terms of the carrier. And we look at this multi-point inspection that we have, in consideration of what we might be looking for. Lifetime guarantee of income. Is this the highest amount? Is that the biggest priority? Is the carrier a priority? Looking at it even further into the crediting potential. Do these annuities inside of the 401k, do they offer more complexity that may add some value? More diversification, more flexibility to take out more funds if needed. Fourth would be the fees. Are there any fees involved? And then lastly, are there any options for enhanced benefits like life, doubling the income should somebody be confined to a care facility? So in evaluating these, we can determine that product within the 401k, does that fit our client's needs, or do we look at other avenues?
Yeah, the multi-point annuity inspection process that we've invented, I mean, I'm proud to say that we've created that. That's an intellectual property of ours. And it's something that we do that is literally a game changer for someone trying to evaluate annuities. It gives you the ability to look at these products and compare them side by side with a completely different lens so that you understand exactly what you're getting. You understand exactly how the annuity is going to benefit you and your prioritization of goals and objectives, and give you the ticket to be able to compare and then make a decision. And the confidence that level that's boosted, like you're literally boosting your annuity IQ to a higher level, and the confidence that's associated with doing that is truly unmatched in the industry. There's nobody out there doing this the way that we do. I know that. I know what our competition does. Everyone else tries to sell you an annuity. We teach you how to evaluate the annuity marketplace to shift the feeling of being sold something and shifting it to where you know how to truly buy something that you want and need. And you know how to hand pick and select the one that you want, not the one the advisor wants you to get. So
I mean,
with
how
that
often
being
do
said,
we
go ahead.
how often do we have those meetings where somebody comes in? Yeah, I received 4 different illustrations. These are the companies the guy selected and told me that this would be the best for me. Okay. Do you understand what you're looking at? No. Let's first understand it. And I get the point of confusion. And the reason why somebody's continuing their research and why they come to us is because they haven't been given the information and education to know what they're purchasing.
100%. And like when I learned this about our industry, I was completely mind blown.
Yeah.
And I kept hearing the same thing. Yeah, just like you said, someone goes to a dinner seminar about retirement and then they get pitched an annuity, or they go to their local Edward Jones and the guy bashes annuities. But then when you say, oh, I really want an annuity, then they still show you an annuity. But it's like one annuity. You can't compare anything, nor do they understand how to even show you how to compare it. Or, they talk to someone online and the guy just pitches them one annuity and doesn't give them multiple options to compare or the ability to understand how to compare. When I found that out, I was like, this is incredible. This is really how this industry was built, is by this. Like
I was blown
cutthroat,
away when
old
you told me
sales
to.
tactics.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when you told me that. And then, once I started in the industry, started seeing it, I'm like, well, he's not wrong. It's crazy to say.
Yeah.
Actually, that gives all the more reason why we do what we do and have a passion behind this. But
yeah, we're changing the game for the better. We're big with, like I said, consumer advocacy. The reason is because we understand that these products are good for most people.
yep.
But just like every product out there, regardless of industry, there's good ones, there's bad ones, there's mediocre ones, there's average ones, there's superior ones. And you have to have the ability to compare. You have to have the ability to get through the noise and see through the fluff and the marketing hype and be able to see them for what they truly are. And that's where we came up with this multi-point annuity inspection process. And that's a trademark, by the way. Like, we own that. And it's because that's what we do. And we're the best at it. There's no one out there better than us at doing that. Guaranteed.
Yep.
So anyways, so just because, some of these annuities are going to be offered in these 401k plans, it doesn't automatically mean it's the best deal. That's what we're saying. So you still got to inspect the annuity that you're being offered against other annuities. And that's where we're going to come in. I can't wait for this, because I know that we're going to be able to help put people in a better position. But getting more eyeballs on annuities and how they work and the benefits of them is a great thing for retirees and pre-retirees. It's a great thing that they're going to be exposed and educated on these options, to then just further push them down the road to say, hey, now it's time to compare. And that's where we come in. If you want to compare, that's where Annuity Association shines.
That's right. So looking at this big picture, this episode, and what this means to those in the retirement red zone, those who are in retirement, what does this all mean to you? First, check with your employer or plan provider. Ask if your 401k or 403b offers an in-plan lifetime income option. And if it does, find out what type it is, whether that's immediate, deferred income, or a hybrid. And we can evaluate that and compare, again, what we specialize in. And ask which insurance carriers are providing that guarantee. I think over the brief amount of time that we've seen these coming into the marketplace, it's been pretty limited, which is to be expected. But take that evaluation. Also compare those payout rates to retail annuities or annuities that are out on the marketplace that you can evaluate.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, you still have options. That's where rolling over to a personally selected annuity can give you more flexibility and potentially higher income options. That's really where we come in, is being able to help you shop the entire marketplace, whether you're being pitched an annuity, again, in the scenarios that were aforementioned, or maybe you're blessed to have a 401k plan early adopter to where they are offering an in-plan option for you. You can shop it. I do believe that there's going to be a significant amount of the baby boomer generation who's continuing to retire through, I believe it's 2034. But they're going to be, unfortunately, in a situation where they may not have 401k in plan options for annuities. At least a majority of them won't. And so if that's you, but you still identify with having the peace of mind, the security and confidence that a guaranteed income annuity provides, you still can follow the traditional process of shopping the entire marketplace outside of your plan. And then if you find something that you like and it all makes sense, you can do the rollover process, which is taking a portion of those funds out of the 401k, keeping them tax deferred, and rolling them into an in-plan or an out-of-plan annuity, which will still keep all the taxes deferred and all of that. So you don't have to wait for your plan to offer it, is what I'm saying. But understanding these new in-plan options helps you make more informed decisions. And for those still working, it's a great sign that the industry is finally focusing on income, not just accumulation.
That's right. So looking at this big picture, just keep in mind, annuities are no longer just something that you buy after retirement, right? They're starting to become a build it right into the system and helping you save in the first place.
And like I said, that's really good news. It means more people will have access to guaranteed income, more transparency, and potentially better pricing.
That's right. And as always, the best solution is a personalized one personalized for your specific needs, understanding what that income need might be, if there's a longevity purpose, if there's a legacy purpose, your spouse's needs, and just really understanding the the complexities of these annuities and knowing how they function. And that's where we can shed that light, bring the comfort level for you and your family, your loved ones, and provide some different solutions.
Yeah, beautifully said there, Zachariah. And that's exactly what we help our listeners do every day through our multi-point annuity inspection process, where we evaluate products by income guarantees, carrier strengths, their fee structures, index crediting potential, and long-term care enhancements so that you can make confident, educated decisions. We call that overall the annuity assurance process. The multi-point inspection is something that takes place within the entire annuity assurance process. But overall, it's what the name says. We want to assure you, and you have your own assurance that you're making the best decision for your situation.
That's right. So in the link description, you're going to find that we'll have our website here where you can select that link and visit with myself, Jeremiah, any member of our team, learn more about annuities and understanding if this may be a path for you.
That's right. All of our advisors are trained and experts on the subject matter of annuities and our unique intellectual process of helping you make a more informed decision. We follow the best interest standard, which is, an ethical and moral obligation to ensure that we are truly making recommendations that are in the best interest of the consumer, that being you. And we're proud of that. We've always been that way, even before that regulation came into existence. Just from our core, doing things the right way with integrity has always been the number one foundational building block for our organization. And, I'm proud of that because I think that's what's led to our overall success in the market. We were recently recognized by the Inc. 5000 as one of the fastest growing companies in America, private companies. We currently ranked 294th and 21 overall in financial services. So we're proud of that. The testimony speaks for itself of our process and the experience that we take people through. And we're really honored to have the opportunity to serve everybody that we come into contact with, even if that means telling you that an annuity isn't right for your situation. That's doing the right thing, and that's following that best interest standard. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the I Love Annuities podcast. I am Jeremiah Conger.
And I am Zach Van Ness, and together we are the Annuity
Dudes. Signing off. You got to get that drum beat.